Eels season preview. Here it is. 2024, 7 wins. So 6 wins for the West Tigers. They won the Spoon Bowl. It took them to 7 wins. 17 losses, 15th. Bit of an asterisk there because only 8 games from the Australian halfback, New South Wales halfback Mitch Moses. Brad Arthur sacked in May after a magic round thumping to the Storm. They missed out on Wayne Bennett, but they pick up first-year coach Jason Riles, who has spent time at the Roosters and the Melbourne Storm. Josh Addo-Carr gets a chance after being at the Bulldogs. Dean Hawkins, Isaiah Iongi, who apparently is absolutely flying, the young Penrith fullback. Zac Lomax had a breakout season. Joash Papali'i also plays a bit of fullback. Jack Williams, nice shrewd signing from the Cronulla Sharks. Who do they lose? Well, the main outs, Regan Campbell-Gillard, he's off to the Gold Coast. Clint Gutherson, he's gone. Ethan Sanders, a young half, he's gone to the Raiders. And Mike Acevo, and a shout out to Mike Acevo too, the poor bugger. ACL, Brian, did you see that?
Awful.
He's over there in Leeds. Blaze Talangi, the promising young back, is gone to Penrith.
Off to the roof.
Right, O'Brien, 7 wins. 7 wins is a text here from, where was that one? I'm excited about Parramatta this year. Don't expect us to win first year with new coach, but I'm very optimistic about the Riles era. So, Eels can definitely threaten for the spoon, Stewart says on the other hand. Have some stars, but can the coach rally the Eels? Riles was a terrible trainer at the Dragons. I don't think that was the case, was it?
No. Riles, he was a good trainer.
Yeah.
Really good trainer. It's the Melbourne thing for me. I know we keep saying a lot of... Brad Arthur was there.
Yep.
Adam O'Brien was there, but I think it's a little bit different with Rolesy.
Okay.
If he can just get them to do what Melbourne players do
Yep.
and concentrate on what your job is, errors killed them.
Yep.
Errors killed the Eels. Coming out of trouble.
Yep.
They were just trying to, and that's what happens to these lower teams. They don't have the patience. So if you can instill, and I heard Mitch Moses talking on the TV the other day saying how he's turned the joint upside down. We've done a lot of different things. We're going to have a different defensive structure.
Okay.
You imagine it's going to
Yeah,
be
of course.
wrestle.com.
Yep. Yeah.
And you have a look at that. Zac Lomax, he's got to get the ball. He has to get the ball.
He's so good on the wing.
He's so good on the wing. That's what I'm alluding to.
Yeah.
Rolesy knows that. There's smarter people than us can see that they've got to get the ball in his hands.
They've got to get the ball in his hands. So
well, he's got
too.
Coming out of dummy half too. He was terrific coming out of trouble.
I asked him last year, I said, what position or what jersey are you wearing? He said 4. He was adamant he's wearing the 4. The coaching staff, by the way, good gang here. Nathan Brownie's back.
Yep.
He's with Parramatta and, of course, played together at the Dragons. Scotty Wisemantle. So he's a big signing. Sam Moa. They love him. Yeah. They love Sammy Moa and Nathan Kaler. So good gang there. Dylan Brown. So that's been dominating the headlines, and it does again today. Does that hurt their season at all, what he decides to do? Help or hinder? Does it matter? As a player, does it matter?
Not these days. No, I don't think so.
So if it turns out that he's not staying...
They'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
They're all professional. The thing that I do like about Parramatta, and if hopefully Mitch Moses can play more than the 8 games, I talk about this, how important kicking games are. He's got one of the best kicking games.
Mitch Moses.
So if you're in a set and you can't really get out of trouble,
yep.
A lot of those lower teams, it's their kicking game that lets them down. But what he did, on a team going forward, there's not too many bigger kickers.
Well, over the years, Parramatta's probably one of the very few teams who have at times troubled Penrith.
Yes.
And I've watched those games back, and he's basically doing a Penrith on Penrith where they're just completing, and he puts that kick up in what they call the cage, and every set they're catching it. He'd park himself on the right-hand side and then just send it up, drop it 5 metres out from the try line, rinse and repeat.
But you got to be patient.
You got to be patient.
And hopefully that's what Rolesy can instill in him because there's a Bryce Cartwright, might be an error. Mike Acevo coming out of dummy. I mean, he's not there, but that's what was happening last year.
Correct.
So
Junior Paulo needs a big year.
Junior, he does need a big year. And who else have they lost?
They've lost Regan. Yep.
Yeah.
But big loss?
Huge loss.
Yeah. Did he get the player of the year?
He was enormous last year.
Yeah.
He was averaging 70 minutes a game or something ridiculous.
Geez, the Titans pack, and we'll talk about them later in the week, but geez, they've got some...
Regan Campbell-Gillard I was surprised, Riles, because don't you feel like he's a similar sort of player to Rolesy?
Yeah, I do, actually. I do. Anyway, what do you think, folks? What's the sentiment for the Parramatta Eels, who went so close to a wooden spoon last year? No Clint Gutherson.
Yeah. Well, he was their little energy bunny, wasn't he? He got him going. But now you'd see how him and Mitch Moses, although they're mates, you could see that there was a little bit of friction there, and they've actually spoken about it publicly.
Well, they have.
Yeah, they came out saying, we're both competitive, that
Yep.
sort of jazz. Mitch, like all teams, your halfback needs to be playing more than 8 games a year.
Yeah, that's right. The captaincy, I like that.
Yeah. And they've also put young Jack Williams in there as captain. I don't know much about Jack. Is he
In the leadership team or as captain?
in the leadership game?
Which Dylan Brown's not in, I don't think.
No, he's not. Whether his nose might be able to join, but
Well, the management be saying, hey, Riles, you might kind of help our bid if you do put him in.
yeah, but
Or maybe that's not what he wants to do.
you would think he's asked him. What's your gut feel? Do you think he ends up somewhere else? I reckon it's the first 10 games is going to dictate that.
Well,
if they're all happy and winning and makes it easy for him to sign.
Yeah, I don't know. $1.2 million, if that's what they're asking, that's a lot of cash for not being the main difference maker in your team.
He works very well with Mitch.
Let me ask you this. So, and the obvious answer is going to be Mitchell, right? So if there was one player Riles he wants to play the whole year, it's Mitch Moses.
Mm-hmm.
Is Dylan Brown the second player that he would want to keep fit all year?
I'll say it's I will say it's Junior.
Yeah, a healthy Junior. That's what I'm
Junior.
saying. So
Healthy,
then,
fit
if you're not in the
Junior.
top 2 players of who the coach would say, if I could guarantee 26 fit games out of them, 1.2. It's not. I'm not paying that.
No, he's not. Well, but Para won't, but someone will.
Yeah,
You think, Chooks?
I don't think the Chooks would pay that.
Yeah.
That's not the Chooks sort of style either. It's certainly not the Melbourne Storm style. 1300 01 1170. Not saying that, they have got Munster, but he's been doing that for a long, long time. Cameron Munster, we've all seen that. 1300 01 1170. Boys, if Iongi lives up to his potential, the Para backs 1 to 7, right up there with the best backs in the comp. Says Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
We haven't mentioned the Fox.
Haven't mentioned the Fox. Point to prove.
Point to prove. He's looking good. He's on the meat diet.
Is he?
He's still on the carnivore.
Is he? Jeez, he was ripped last year too, wasn't he? What, you're still here? Well, you can see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio, you beautiful humans.